All right. How'd everybody like that movie? It's my pleasure to now welcome up to the stage the stars of the film. I think they're around here somewhere. Did they wander off? Deborah Royce.
I think we had a massive exodus to the ladies' room. I think they'll be back. So.
Why don't we start as they come, and we'll welcome them as they approach in.
Hi, Adam.
So, Deborah.
Yes?
When did you last see this movie?
About 30 years ago.
Is it really that long?
Yeah, definitely.
Never in between when this came out and tonight?
Let me consult. Alexandra, have I seen this film in your life? I don't think I have. Yeah.
So now that there's 30 years between when you last saw the movie and tonight, do you have any perspective, reflections on what it was like then as you made the movie and how you feel about it now that there's so much time that's elapsed?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think it holds up as an ensemble film. I think it's kind of tangentially a horror film. It wasn't scary to me. I don't know if it was scary to other people. I don't really think was it scary? All right. People were scared. Okay, so I think it's on the better end of the genre. I think it's, we've talked about this, a precursor to a film like Scream. So I liked it better than I feared I might.
Is it difficult sitting in an audience, having worked on something and been in something, to watch yourself on the screen? Forgive me, but I don't know what that's like.
I don't like it. I don't like seeing myself on the screen at all. And that's probably why I was able to leave acting, but it's not a comfortable thing for me.
And when this film came out, this was right in the middle of the 80s. You had the Halloween series, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street were all established. This came out, it was 1986, so depending on which of those three movies I just referenced, we're talking anywhere from 2, 4, 6 years apart. What were you sensing when you went in to make this movie? Because it's actually so different from those films, and perhaps that was something that made it difficult at the time for this movie to cross over and become the next franchise, yet as you referenced, it was a precursor to very self-aware movies like Scream. Were you aware, and did you have the sense when making this movie that the filmmakers were going for something different?
I did. It was a very good script. The characters were well written. I had great respect for Fred Walton. He had done When a Stranger Calls with Carol Kane, so I had the feeling that I had great admiration for him. And I thought that film was superior in that genre. I mean, it was very much of the genre, more than this. For me, it was the ensemble quality. It was also the era of the Brat Pack movies. So that was very much what was going on. There were large groups of, where is everyone?
Can somebody find our guests?
This is so odd. There were...
April Fools.
It's very strange. They just... So for me, it really read like one of those ensemble youth films and a horror film, but I thought it was better. There was a whole different end, a longer end. You probably have read about it.
I have. I was going to ask you, so I'm glad you brought it
right.
up. Why don't you share with the audience the alternate ending?
Okay, so if you're a fan of this film, some of you are. did anybody come here because of this film? Oh, great. Great. So you probably know the story that we filmed a longer ending. It was about 30 minutes long. We leave the island, we go back to the island, we play all kinds of pranks on Muffy. Amy, please.
Amy Steele,
Come.
saving the day. There she comes.
Sorry, they're coming. It's just we have a little gab in the ladies' room.
All right. So I was telling
Thank
about
you,
the
Amy.
other,
Welcome.
and here's Deborah Foreman,
Hi, here's Deborah.
Muffy, Buffy. Come on down. So I was talking about the alternate ending when we filmed that whole long thing where we went back to the island. You want to say anything about it? I think we're sharing.
I wasn't there.
You didn't go back? You didn't, all those scenes we shot that were cut out of the film, there was 30 minutes more to this film.
What was it like?
We went,
Remind me. It's been a little
okay,
while.
I know the one scene I did was when I'm running through the woods and I go face plant into that pond. Remember that? There's something about me and water in this movie. Do you remember that?
No.
Well, remember, you only remember the scenes where you were on call that night. So we probably weren't there that night where you face planted.
Yeah.
We were in our hotel rooms, all cozy.
That's right. Just, doing.
There was a whole prank that the friends stage on Muffy. They go back to the island. They leave on a boat. They go back. She doesn't know they're back. And it was 30 minutes more, and they ended up cutting it out. And there's just now the thing with Leah, who's still missing, cutting her throat.
I don't remember that ending because the ending that's on there was shot in Los Angeles. They redid the ending.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't remember the other ending, though.
Okay. Well, it's a long time ago.
Backtracking to the question I started with for Deborah that I'm going to ask both of you as well. When did you last see this movie prior to tonight? And can you reflect for us upon, your take on the film today as you just watched it as compared to when you were first in it and worked on it 30 years ago?
Well, I probably saw it not too soon after it was released, so I'm going to say maybe 28 years ago. I hadn't seen it till now, and I didn't remember a lot of it, and I was like, who was that? When was that? What happened? So it was really amazing, and I was like, wow, Deborah did such a great job. Wow, Deborah was so good, and there was so much. It looked like so much fun between you guys, and me being the Quaker couple. I was wondering where that line came from, and now I know as I watched the movie. We were so sober.
And how about for you, Deborah?
I think I must have seen it within the first 10 years. So it's probably about 20 years now that I've seen that film. I loved it. I thought, I don't remember most of it. I remember jumping on the table with the knife. I thought, wow, look at that. Look how she can jump on that table so good. And it's like I'm looking at someone else. I know it's me, but I'm looking at someone else. Because we were just discussing this in the bathroom that, when you're in your 20s. Leah.
And I see our fourth guest, Leah. Let's welcome her up.
That's okay. It took me a long time. We're good. What was I saying?
Watching it with fresh eyes,
other people up there. Oh, completely. Even the sound, even all of our voices in the film, they were so soft. And
How much did I miss?
We're just beginning.
Okay, good.
I remember really prepping for that last scene when you jumped on the table. We were outside and really getting all ready to go, and then running in, and I just remember that prep.
But also Fred. Don't you think Fred put us in? awesome man. Fred Walton was our director for April Fool's Day, and he had us rehearsing 2 weeks before we even started the film. Remember that? So I love that. I have such an appreciation for him now, and I was also saying this in the bathroom, that he took his time with some of the scenes. You know,
have all been in the bathroom. The bathroom was, we covered all this.
There's another Q&A still happening there right now.
We started instantly talking. I wasn't there. Yes, you were. We were just in the bathroom. Anyway, yeah, it's been about that. And was there more to that question? What was it?
No, same question for you, Leah. We're just talking about reflections on the film between when you last might have seen it and worked on it originally as compared to now.
So what's your question?
The question is, any reflections that you have and how you felt toward it then and how you do now, today?
I'm really bad with actually taking my time to actually answer things.
Take your time.
Because this is quite interesting to be amongst these beautiful souls. And we really did have a wonderful time doing it. And we've gone through different parts of our experiences in our lives, very different directions. So, but it all floods back, doesn't it? When you actually have an experience like that in your life, when you went to high school or camp, or your wedding or whatever, pivotal times of your life, you come back almost like you were there just now. Yeah. And that's how I feel.
This is a movie that was successful relative to cost when it came out commercially, but was by no means, a box office smash. It didn't end up spawning a franchise. It was a smash. It was a smash. But since that time, it has really built a substantial following. In that sense, it's a true cult classic, as we like to call it. What do you think it is about this film that's so enduring, that's relegated it to this great status of being a cult film that so many people seek out, and that's now known by other people of younger generations who might have not even been alive when the movie was first made?
You mean like Casablanca?
Exactly. Wait, what movie is that? I don't know that one. We'll have to talk about that later, but...
I'll say something. I'm wondering, because I don't really know the answer to that, but I'm wondering if it doesn't have something to do with the fact that it does turn out to be a spoof. So when you leave the theater, you're not completely creeped out and terrified at every turn. You've kind of shaken off that icky feeling, and you've had a nice laugh. And I also think it's the ensemble quality, the relationship of the actors, I think.
I've heard people say that it's kind of smart, that it's funny and yet not gratuitous, and that it really got them, but it wasn't that icky feeling. It was just kind of fun, and they just really enjoyed it, and it was kind of smart.
So for my experience of pop culture, or however you want to say it, I think it does have to do with the chemistry of the actors and the casting. And I saw it on the screen. I feel it. I know it now, being among my fellow ladies. There's a through line through all of us. There's a heart thing between us, and we went through something extraordinary. Different levels when we were together, but we went through something pretty extraordinary together. So
And beyond the film.
Absolutely. And
On the greatest location ever.
oh my gosh.
In a mansion on Vancouver Island for a month.
Yeah, it was beautiful. We're kind of staying in a house like that now.
I do have to say, though, we were not sleeping in a mansion. We were in a roadside motel, I think. That was not our housing.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I'm sure the audience has some questions, so I think right now we should take it out to them. If you would like to ask a question, raise your hand. We have a mic runner right over here who's going to get to you. He's going to hold up the mic, and we're going to start right over here in the front with this gentleman here. And if you want to just wait until the mic gets to you, thank you so much.
Hello, ladies. This is very exciting to be here with you girls watching this. This is one of my favorite films. I had more questions about the alternate ending. Skip returned to the island to kill Muffy because he wanted the inheritance. And there's actually a picture of Skip's death scene that was on the original DVD release. He's got, it has an orange tint to the poster so you can't really see, but he has like a knife through, I think, his throat. So I was just wondering if you girls remembered anything more about that. It's hard to find information online. It is in the novelization, but I think Muffy ended up killing him because he tried to kill you to get the inheritance. I was just wondering if you have any recollections about that.
All right, there's a person in this room who's holding up a pink camera right now, Lee.
What?
We have a pile of manuscripts, right? In the attic? In the house where you're staying.
Oh my God.
We're going to go up to the attic. We're going to find this.
You found your manuscript?
I think I have it. Maybe I have it.
I don't have the script
So the
anymore.
original ending is what you're saying?
But it would be in the script.
Fred Walton could answer that.
Actually,
Where is he?
I can actually,
I don't know.
can I answer that?
Yes.
Because nobody else actually has the answer.
What? Give it.
Okay, so all I know is that they didn't like the ending. Am I right?
Yeah, well, yeah, they shot a different one.
What I
Right.
heard was,
It was too long?
this is a
Okay.
90-minute,
Here we
this
go.
is a 90-minute film, and there was 30 more minutes where a bunch of us go back to the island. I can't remember all of what happened. Like I said, I remember falling in the water again. But I think when they saw it just, 90 minutes is about the right length, and there was a way to then add that new ending and chop it off and make it tidier.
They also
But I'm gonna
had
look for that.
because they had the what do you call that, when they had the.
There was a bonfire.
No, sorry. I meant like, sorry.
Clearly,
we're over
we were
40.
all hallucinating when we made this movie.
No, wait, an audience poll. That's what they did. That's why.
Oh, a test market screening,
A
right.
See, that's why I don't remember it, a focus
Okay.
screening. And that's why they decided, for some reason, the focus screening people decided they
Right.
didn't like the ending the way it was.
So you're more confused now than before you came.
I had heard that Paramount didn't know how to market it because of the ending, because they didn't know if it was like a slasher film or a comedy. So they chopped off the ending to market it as like a comedy because it was at the end of the slasher film cycle. They didn't know how to like market it.
They also,
Okay.
I hate this. They also said, and this might be BS, I don't know, but they actually felt the group that they actually were, what do you call that again? Targeting. Target people. When it comes to art, anyway, they felt bad for my character. That's what I was told.
So you got the knife slice
Because
at
of
the
the
end.
fact that the whole abortion thing and then, right, and what happened to Nan, so everybody was like laughing and Nan felt bad. But that might be it, BS, I don't know.
You got your justification.
I did get my justification and an extra paycheck.
There you go. We're going to take it to the back over here. I see a hand up.
Thank you. I was going to ask you questions about location, which you answered, which was Vancouver Island. How long did it take to shoot the film?
I think it was a month.
A month, so you were
6
all
weeks?
together.
6
on some-
weeks?
Together for a month, but not at the mansion, which is
At
too
the
bad.
hotel.
I envision you camping out in the
The
mansion.
motel.
A motel. But the other thing I wanted to point out is that this film really takes off of maybe an earlier genre like 10 Little Indians with the same kind of thing where it's horror and it's scary, and at the end of it, like, you go home and it's fun. And you guys did a great job with it, and it holds up after 30 years. Congratulations.
Thank you.
The movie and us, we try to
Moving-
hold up as best we can.
Over off to the side, yep.
Wonderful job, ladies. Question, so are you all still working actresses? And if not, does seeing this film make you want to act again?
Oh, interesting questions.
No, no.
Tell us how you really feel.
No, and no-ish. Ish, with an ish.
I think mine is no as well. But I loved watching the film. I loved watching everybody's work. But nah. Mm-mm.
Sorry for my language, shit. What was the first question?
You're a yes.
I'm still working as an actress.
And does this make you want
And if, well, no, yeah, I just loved everything that, I just love it. I don't know, I love being creative. But I'm still acting. And I'm still shy.
Going to the back again, yes.
Thank you. Thank you guys for being here. This is awesome. I just have two kind of nerdy questions. One is, do you guys still stay in touch, whatever? Because you hear about like all the Karate Kid guys are all still friends. And also, there's a bunch of 20-somethings on an island. Was it party time 24/7 kind of deal?
Party Central.
Oh, shall I go first? Okay, so we have been in varying degrees of touch. I've seen Amy regularly, but not frequently over the years. I've seen you not so regularly. We all have reconnected in recent years.
But we were actually very good friends
For a long time. But a lot of us moved to different places. I moved to Paris, Leah moved back to Toronto. People were kind of
I stayed in LA.
motion. Yeah.
She's now in Big Bear. And Amy?
Yes, Deborah and I have been good friends. I haven't seen these guys in 30 years. Since the film until tonight, in the bathroom. We have not seen each other. So that was amazing. And it's so great because you can just kind of check right in. It's like right there. It's like you didn't miss a moment.
It's like no miss
That's the
time.
basic
That's,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
You look into people's eyes that are really compassionate and caring and loving, and you look in people's eyes and you go, aha.
Right.
I remember
We've
you.
been through something together. So
What was it like offset,
think that-
and was
no,
it
I
similar
don't-
to the way it was on set?
you want to know the dirt.
Yeah, I think that's what he was getting at.
I'm not telling anything.
I'll tell everything, but I will make it all up.
You have to go to the bathroom to find out.
And with
I
that,
don't think you guys, I don't think we didn't party.
You have to live here.
Not, we were in our early 20s and we didn't go night clubbing and we weren't drinking
There
and
was
partying.
no night.
We didn't have Ubers.
nowhere to go.
We couldn't go to an
There was
Uber.
nowhere
We
to
couldn't-
go, it's
no-
true.
nothing.
We were in a motel in the country, literally a motel in the country. And the motel didn't even have room service. It had like a diner, as I recall.
I remember that with bad food.
Terrible, that was it. And we worked 6 days a week,
Yeah.
and I don't remember any
I remember
partying.
being on the set more than being in someone's.
No, that's what we did.
Okay, I think you're all
taking it
full
to
of
the
shit.
center.
Because I remember the 80s. I'm just kidding. So here's my question. I just came off my own high school reunion, and it's this beautiful thing. And I'd like to first thank you for letting us be a part of your reunion, because it's been really special to watch you guys interact. It's really cool.
Thank you.
It's so fun. So like you, I haven't seen the movie since I was in high school. And it's smart. You're right. It's really smart. It's really funny. You guys delivered it beautifully. And it's really great and tongue-in-cheek. So many knockoffs. Scream, by the way, huge franchise. After that, that really smart dialogue. So here's one more question, an echo to my friend over there. I'm going to challenge you because you're all really bright, and let's just think maybe, could there be another movie where you guys are writing and thinking and stirring it up? Like maybe we could rock the whole genre with some 50-plus-year-olds in a house? Like, I'm just saying. What do you think?
Well, that's an interesting idea. We have been chatting about that. As you know, I'm in the writing mode now. I'm just finishing a book.
And she lives in a house that looks like the one in April Fool's Day.
Kind of.
We have our location. Yeah, we have our location now.
Someone about 20 years ago sent me a script, and I can't remember who it was. It was 2 writers. And they had written a sequel, and Chaz and Nikki had gotten married, and they'd moved to New York, so we would have been in our 30s. And we bought an old pornography theater.
I think that makes sense.
Well, so it was the 2 of us in this script. We'd bought this porno theater on 42nd Street and we were going to turn it into a bed and breakfast.
Because that was actually one of the best sex scenes I've ever seen.
Did you? Okay, so I have to talk about that sex scene. You all perceived that was a joke, right? There were limbs. First of all,
A body double. Like, was there a third person in there?
I know. Was there another set of legs?
There was one leg just coming out next to me. I don't know how many legs were in that bed.
I had hair, but really hot. Still.
Fred Walton was a very funny man. So the sex quiz was something that we had been doing a Cosmo quiz, and he saw it, and he wrote a much racier sex quiz, obviously. And then the sex scene, I mean, how boring is it to do a regular sex scene? And nobody was going to do nudity in this film. So he created this thing that was, I can't even tell you how many arms and legs were there. But, so the script we received, so I don't know if Clayton got it. Those 2 characters marry, they bought a porno theater, they wanted to do a bed and breakfast. He had a younger brother or a nephew who was a college student who came to stay with us in the 42nd Street area for the weekend, and the game was afoot again. Did anybody here write that script?
Because now's the punchline.
Yeah, we sound a little delirious up here. So this would be the time to do a sequel, I think. It could be a retirement home. It could be. The 10 Little Indians, Agatha Christie retirement home.
Because we're all so crazy, we went there way too early. Yeah.
All the way in the back, we have a question in the corner, yes.
Obviously, all 4 of you are still a whole bunch of fun, so a sequel would be a gift, or even any of you going back into acting would be a gift to theater. Someone asked...
No, thank you very much.
And this is coming from, the movie's older than I am, and it's now going to be part of my collection.
So am I.
Like, this is... It's hard to find a movie that has such a flip. Just a twist you don't see coming, and that's why I appreciate it so much. But it's a movie called April Fool's Day, and there were a lot of great tricks and antics throughout the movie. Farther from the raunchier side of the set, did anyone pull any big pranks on anybody?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What? A lot of it was improvised.
There was a prank that was pulled in the movie.
There was a couple.
But I wasn't there.
She was busy playing 2 parts.
There was a prank. I don't know if I can speak about it. Can I tell it?
Yeah,
All right.
go
All
for
right.
it.
So Clayton Roner and I, Chaz and Nikki, we were in the motel and we went down for breakfast one day in the sleazy diner restaurant, and Griffin O'Neill was there, and he said he was dating the producer's sister, who was the wardrobe mistress. And he said to us, "Oh, I just did the funniest thing. I got this waitress over here, and I had her say she was a nurse at the hospital and that Maria and I had been in a terrible accident, and she called Frank, and it was pouring down rain, and we just blanched, as you can imagine." Do you remember this? No. So we got to the set, and it was funereal on the set because the producer, Frank Mancuso, was going around, a driver was taking him to hospitals to look for his sister. So you can imagine the somber mood on set, and Griffin arrived, and we steered clear of him, and then Frank arrived and went into his trailer, and Griffin was summoned into his trailer, and I guess he was spoken to. It was a practical joke and poor taste.
Very poor taste.
So that's what I remember, and I've triggered some memories here.
But also, one thing that I really love, oh, hello. One thing I really loved about working with the whole team is we were open to improvisation, and we were able to work with each other in the best way that you can as an actor. As far as I'm concerned, that, you know, there was gifts, and so we seemed to have great energy, and we worked opposite each other, everybody, in a beautiful way. So.
Fred was interesting because there was a moment then. So he would, thank you. I was in the scene with Deborah, and I think all I was doing was just stretching my mouth. I felt really tight in my face. I did that.
And by the way, she was wonderful in the movie.
Thank you. Thank you. And Fred caught it, saw that I was doing it, and he said, "Keep it." Now, I wasn't doing it to be in, hey, look at what I'm doing. He said, keep it in there. So I did, and I didn't understand why. Now I do after seeing it. He would catch us, doing something, and then he would say, "At it," like the sex quiz. He was picking up on nuances that were happening organically while the camera wasn't on. And then he was sharing it on the camera as soon as he would see it. He just had such a wonderful essence about him, that man. I didn't appreciate him when I was working with him. I felt sort of intruded upon a couple of times by him. And so instead of working against him, I decided to work with him and make him feel valued. And we got along really well after I did that. Amy was in a scene with me with Ken Olin, and we were outside of the house one time, and it was just a scene, just the three of us, and I think he noticed the sweater I was wearing. It was stretched out and was pulled over my hips, and he came over to me. Do you remember any of this? No.
Keep going.
Okay. So he came over to me, and he sort of manhandled me, and I'm standing there, and he's trying to put my sweater up on my waist, and I had stretched it out because I'm a girl, and I wanted it to, go down a little bit over my hips. And he came over, and he couldn't put it back on my hips, and he said, "You go back to the costume trailer, and you change that sweater right now." There was no, I wasn't given an option. I was told to do it. It was that moment that I sort of switched gears on how I was going to deal with him, and how I was going to.
Buffy or Buffy?
As Deborah Foreman. As an actress and her director, I didn't want any kind of a wall between us. I wanted to be very connected with him, and so I did. But now I have such an appreciation for what I experienced with him, years and years later. So, I don't know, that's all. That's my 2 cents.
See that we have somebody in the very last row in the middle with a question. Yes, sir.
Hi, ladies. Having just revisited this film after so long, can you tell me what your favorite scene was? Watching it? Or shooting?
I'll answer that one, because I turned to Leah when it came on. My favorite scene is our scene.
Yeah, me too.
It was strange that just the time, everything that happened. I even remember.
Specify what that is.
Oh,
When she jumped up on the table.
Oh, no, that's not the one I'm
Oh,
talking
which
about.
one are you talking about? Oh, I like that one.
Oops. No, it was when I come in on you and you were looking at the picture of the two in the office.
Oh, God, I didn't remember that scene very well at all. But I remember you jumping on the table, and I thought, look at that girl jump.
Yeah, and you know, I wasn't into exercising then. I did that pretty good.
They were scary.
Yeah. No, it was just, there was the simplicity in that scene with you and I about, I don't know why I love that scene. That's my favorite scene.
Oh, don't, no.
Oh, gosh. I don't know if I have one favorite scene. Yeah, I did like the packing scene. I had forgotten all of that and the bustling and the talking to the dead body and, yeah, I did like that.
They were wonderful in that.
You like the table?
I love the table because that scene was finally something to kind of get your teeth into, and it was just really, really intense. I remember Deborah and I outside preparing for that scene, and it was just sort of everything kind of peaked, and it was just like get active in it, and it didn't feel tight, and it was great. I really liked that.
I did too. I felt real loose in that. It was crazy, yeah.
I think we have another question over here.
Hi. Wow, this is a lot louder than I thought. But first off, I want to say that this theater is very beautiful. I've never been here before, and this is a very cool experience. And I really like the whole relationship between you guys. I can pretty much tell that you guys all had like pretty good chemistry with each other and everything like that. And even, I mean, I'm assuming on set and everything like that. So as a filmmaker myself, I can kind of relate because I'll get some of my friends together and we'll all just have a blast. But my question is, with a lot of horror movies nowadays, everything seems to be being remade. This movie in particular seemed to be a little bit ahead of its time in the sense with the twist and everything like that. Like the demographic that it targets, there goes that word again, is, so it seems, both the horror fans and comedy. Do you think a movie like this might work nowadays if they were to attempt something like this?
Even more so.
I do too.
Well, if you get Tom Wilson, get him in there, he's a pretty funny guy. And
love
Clayton,
Tom.
I thought, was really funny, and I mean,
Jay
with the
Baker.
cast, and Jay Baker.
Oh, man. I know.
Jay Baker, is Jeanette Wallace still here? So, Jeanette's husband, Benny Wallace, who's a brilliant jazz musician, his cousin is Jay Baker. And I was trying to connect with them to reach him. And doesn't he have a show in Tennessee, like a kind of fix-it home improvement show? Yeah, he does. Yeah. So that's what Jay Baker's doing. I just had to say that.
And that's funny.
I bet it's good and funny.
We have time for one last question tonight
Jay was
over
sweet.
here.
Hi, thank you for a wonderful show. It was a great movie. Debbie Goodrich, I have to ask, was there a stunt double when you went down the well, or was that you actually making that fall?
That was me.
I actually have a photo that I almost brought, but I didn't, of you standing at the top of the well in the studio.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did.
So we were on a sound stage, and the well was sliced vertically, and you could, shooting over my back with the rungs, but there was a big pool of water that we were all in, all the crew, the well, and they were in waders, and they were
And me.
smoking, and you, and they were dropping their cigarettes. My takeaway from that was a 3-week ear infection. I don't know if that water was so gross. It was so gross. But yeah, it was fun though. Did we do that in LA? That was LA, right?
That was LA, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was part of the reshoot. Well, I mean, not the reshoot, like,
But the
we had a
post, yeah.
reshoot about the.
Bye, you guys.
Right.
Thank you for the question.
Bye.
Bye.
Folks, on that note, let's give our guests, oh, wait, we got one more. We're going to hold the applause real quick.
There's one over here.
Any of you had seen the remake that came out in
No.
The question he was asking was, have any of them seen the remake from 2008?
From what I hear, it's absolutely awful. Yeah.
That's what I heard too.
Yes.
We have one more question from
We're
a
going
special.
to allow this one to pass.
We're still here. Oh,
Emma Pulitzer, two beautiful daughters.
I'm going to repeat the question so the audience can hear that. If there's anything that you would change about the movie, what would it be?
My wardrobe.
I like the tie.
You know what, I have to say, you had the worst wardrobe. You are such a gorgeous person.
Nan actually had the
No, I actually thought there was a certain, you have the elegance. Yeah, you know what, I had the best wardrobe.
Yeah.
I had such good wardrobe.
Was your body, and that was fantastic.
Yes.
Yes.
It really is. See?
Okay. So what would we change? That's a really good question. I actually wish more people had understood the movie. I think it straddled genres. I think it was smarter than the genre. So I think it fell a little between the cracks with people who were looking for just a straight-up horror film. It didn't quite get it, and so it had a slow growth. So maybe I wouldn't really change anything. What about you?
The marketing of it. There is a modernized YouTube trailer you can find on. It's a wonder. You saw it recently? Have you seen it? Okay. It's a modernized trailer of April Fool's Day. It is brilliant. It's done by a young person that got a hold of it, and I even wrote them and I said thank you. Just had that been our trailer when we first came out, I think our film would have been more successful. So I would have changed the marketing completely.
Residuals.
Good answer. Well, on that note, let's give everybody up here a really big round of applause and another thank you to all of you for coming tonight to the Avon. Thank you all very much, folks.
Thank you for coming out.
Thank you for coming out. So much fun. I know. Don't fall off the stage. Hey, they are wins. They are. Group hug. All right. Yeah, they are. Next time. We're going to try them. Yeah, come on. We're all going.
That was great. Good job.
Yes, yes. Hold on, girls.
Wait.
Anybody who wants to have pictures?
Oh, give me.
Are you? Anybody who wait, 1 minute. Up.
I don't want to forget mine. Just pop. Oh, wait. Hey. I just got down.
You didn't get the black memo. You didn't get the black memo.
I did have the best wardrobe. Did you create all that? It looked like Maria made it. She did that. She did all that. She did all that. And she's like, I have those giant. We're gonna. Long John. Leah, she has stuff for us to sign. Nice to meet you. It's so good to see you. Pull that puppy. Pull all that stuff out. I got it. So that you can, because everyone's gonna start to separate. Absolutely. Deborah? Absolutely. Nice to meet you. Thank you for coming. Yes.
Have you met everybody? I introduced you. Oh, this is Leah. This is Shayla. She works at the Vanderwaren Sentinel. Thank you.
Right, oh, thank you. That table is a proper 3 hours. And so you're amazing.
Hey, you can put it on here if you want.
Oh, you got a lot here.
Oh, I do.
Let me just, okay.
Would you,
I'll go right in here, or do you want me?
Yeah, would you, or maybe up,
Okay.
yeah,
I'll go up here.
Hi, Deborah.
You'd never say it. It's really lovely to.
Stacey, have I signed this one? Yes, you have signed this one. No, she's on that one too, yeah.
So good you were able to make it.
We made it, it was crazy.
It's a mixed genre.
Leah, you need Leah on this one?
I do, yes.
Of course, if you don't
And she needs you on.
Oh, do you have a different pen, or we're sharing pens?
I do. I have.
Oh my gosh! Oh, I didn't. I don't know.
I do, I have another one.
I don't remember which one I am.
Oh my God.
I signed way up there. You might want to get on the white part. I really love
All your life,
keep
women
him
have been
out
told
on the
this is 6 inches, so that's.
That is you, yes.
What's your name? With a C-H-R-I?
I've gone drive 3 hours for this.
Very funny, and I'll put it in.
Can you write Nan?
It's usable.
In little quotes like Nan?
Oh, Nan.
Yes.
Send a picture. With a jacket hanging over.
You're a best
Oh, did you want me to write my character?
co-write.
Yeah, that would be great.
So on this, it's Deborah. So Deborah and Deborah. So let me, I'll put the
Oh, yeah.
character name on.
That would be great, thank you.
Mickey.
Okay.
If,
Want me to put it down?
yes, please, however you want to hang it.
There you go.
Thank you. And on mine, right above
for the
here,
Debbie.
can you write, can you how to fix
Oh,
my
the dead
earrings?
hands.
Okay.
Okay.
Tim, great radio.
Is that perfect?
Thank you so much.
I don't know you, but I
Such a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah, this one for my friend.
We didn't get a hurricane this
That
time.
is awesome.
There you
Can I
go.
get a picture?
Sure.
Oh, really? Wow. Ken Owen is going to How did you discover her? What movie was the first one you saw?
Actually, April Fool's Day was my first one. I wax work. I've seen. I wax work. I've seen fairly recent. I haven't seen it in a long time, so it's probably.
I got the trifecta. I got April Fool's, Valley Girl. It was like
Valley Girl
it was like the perfect script with the perfect cast. It worked out, you know? Oh, here, let it get a commemorative. I remember when she took this. Jade has been there.